Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and your general Chelsea chat match reaction to last night's 5-0 win against Barrow. And, a chat about Chelsea's generally impressive start to the season. Christopher Nkunku, Nicholas Jackson, who should be leading the line? How much credit does Enzo Maresca deserve for everything that he's done so far at Chelsea, even though it's early days? The impressive squad depth that we've got at our disposal was on display again last night. And to be honest, no one had a bad game. I don't want to see any agendas against any players because I was there last night. I'm sure a lot of you guys watched it with your own two eyes. No one had a bad game. It was pretty much the perfect evening. Nkunku hat-trick, Neto getting his first goal. Felix was good. Mudryk was decent. Minutes for Cassidy, minutes for Chukwuemeka, minutes for Chilwell. Other than being greedy and thinking maybe we could have grabbed one or two more goals, we couldn't have had a more perfect night. Malo Gusto back from injury, getting some much-needed minutes in the tank before the game against Brighton at the weekend. And I just look at it and I think that is a proper performance against a lower league side. Because we saw last season, we played Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup early doors, and we really struggled. We scraped to a 2-1 win against Wimbledon. We had to bring on the big guns from the bench. That's a proper performance against a lower league side. You turn up, you're professional, you take your chances, you show your quality, and you put the team to the sword. And it feels like it's a long time since we've sort of convincingly beaten a team. I know we smashed Everton 6-0 last season. I know, obviously, we beat West Ham 3-0, but do you know what I mean? Like a convincing win against kind of a lower level opposition. Too many times against lower league opposition last season, we really struggled. I know obviously League Two is a little bit different to the Championship, but Leeds we struggled. Leicester we struggled. Wimbledon we struggled. Middlesbrough we lost against in the first leg of the Carabao Cup. This is my point here, is that last season I don't think we win this game 5-0. Yeah, we probably stopped playing after sort of we've gone 2-0 up, and you just sort of sit back and just relax and see the game out. We could have easily done that. We were 2 goals up inside the first 15 minutes, and we could have just shut up shop and that's it for the night, game done. But no, we went for more goals. We got 5. We could have had 6 or 7 easily. And Maresca managed the perfect game in my view. Great rotation, made 11 changes. Good use of the subs as well, giving Tyreek George and Josh Akinpong, a decent amount of minutes to make an impact. And yeah, we couldn't have asked for much more. We're into the next round. The draw is tonight. And yeah, it's really positive right now. I'm not getting carried away, as I said after the game last night over on Chelsea Fan TV. Let's see where we are after 15 games in the season. Let's see where we are after another 10 games. But from what we've seen so far, there are really promising signs that this Chelsea team under Maresca is going places. He's building something. And with the quality we've got in the squad, with the attacking depth in particular that we have, we can cause a lot of teams a lot of problems. There's absolutely no denying it. And I think teams need to be on notice. They need to stand up and, see that actually, do you know what? Chelsea should be taken seriously. But anyway, guys, big up to everyone that's locked in, by the way. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you are new around here. Nina will be joining me shortly in about 15-20 minutes. So yeah, we got that to come. But yeah, guys, make sure you're smashing the likes. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. We're creeping towards 12k. Every new subscriber really helps. So please do smash the likes and subscribe. 2 very simple things that are really important. But big up to everyone that's locked in. Let's say hello to a few people in the chat, and then we will get things back on the road. We must win a trophy this season, like the League Cup or the Conference League. Look, yeah, we need trophies and Chelsea go hand in hand. Yeah, we need to be doing that. League Cup's a very good opportunity, as is the Conference League. And for me, if we don't win a trophy this season, it would be poor, given the opportunities that we do have. Yes, big up to my brother. Love that they are proving me wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, I wouldn't say I expected us to be shit, but we've definitely started a lot better than I expected us to. There seems a real togetherness in the squad. There's so much quality, and there's a lot to be excited for. So let's hope that, as you say, let's hope that they can keep it up. Who would you start against Brighton, Nkunku or Jackson? I mean, Jackson's going to start. He was given the night off completely against Barrow. And look, people talk about, Jackson or Nkunku. Why can't it be both? I don't mean both starting together, but why can't it be both? It's an incredibly positive position to be in. whether Nkunku should start more or not. And it almost, and his form means that it forces those that are currently in the starting lineup, guys, to maintain their focus, maintain their high level of performance. And people seem to forget this is elite level football. This is the best of the best. Competition for places is what we want. How can we be stressing about having too many players on form to pick from? You hear rival fans talking about, Chelsea have got too many players. Criticism of footballers is they play too many games and whatnot. And so a solution to that is having a bigger, high quality squad that can rotate properly. And that is exactly what we have. And maybe that's the vision of the project as well. And so, it's not a big problem to have. I'm happy with either. It's going to be Jackson in my view. I've got no issue with that. And it's a brilliant problem to have. I'm never, ever going to complain about having too many quality players to choose from, or by having, too many players that are in good form. Never, ever, ever will I be moaning about that. It's a perfect thing to have. Yes, big up, brother. I actually thought Dewsbury Hall was all right last night. He grew into the game, a little bit of a slow start. He's been signed to be a squad player, and that's what he will be. So if people have different expectations of him, then unfortunately that's on them. But he was signed to be a squad player, and he's going to play in the cups. He's going to play, in the Conference League and whatnot, and then he'll get his minutes here and there in the Premier League. He wasn't he wasn't signed to be a level raiser for Chelsea. Yes, big up. Yes, all good, brother. Hope you're doing well. I feel like it was more a pre-season game. Well, look, you're never going to get much intensity against, a team that are 4 divisions below you. That's just the reality of the situation. You're not going to get much intensity, and we dealt with the task at hand. Yeah, no, the vlogs haven't disappeared. I was sat in the posh seats last night, so I couldn't do the vlog. And then at West Ham, I forgot my portable charger, so yeah, unfortunately fucked up on that one. But the vlog will be back on Saturday against Brighton, and it'll be back for the remainder of the season as long as I'm not in the posh seats, which won't be a regular occurrence, guys. Yeah, exactly. This is it. Versus Wimbledon, it was because of attacking depth. Yeah, exactly. We're now able. Look, people have said, what's Chelsea's plan? Why are they just signing so many players? Well, now you can see. You might sort of be a little bit confused about what's going on, and you might be a bit disillusioned with things and whatnot. Okay, fair enough to a certain degree. But if my team can play on Saturday with a front four of Jackson, Palmer, Madueke, and Sancho, and then on Tuesday, my team can then play Nkunku, Felix, Neto, and Mudryk, I tell you what, that's a pretty good place to be. Whatever that plan is, I'm all right with that. Sign me up. The level of attacking depth we've got is absolutely outstanding. For me, there's no better attacking depth in any other Premier League squad. We have got unbelievable attacking depth. There's a difference between Burstow starting at striker and Martin at cam than Nkunku. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I understand that. There are better options available, but at the end of the day, last season, this is a game that we perhaps may have struggled with. Do you know what I mean? I personally think the City missing Rodri for a few months. And whoa. Let's rein that back. Let's rein that back. Let's rein it back. Top 4 finish for help. Look, Poch done, I think, done a good job for us, but it's clear that we've progressed and we've moved on in such a short space of time. No, what I meant was elite level football in terms of having competition for places. Yes, big up, brother. You can see the divide people are trying to create between our strikers. Yeah, bro, agenda's got our agenda for certain people. That's just the way that it goes. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it as a really positive situation to be in, a great problem to have. And why wouldn't you want to have that issue? Why wouldn't you? We don't have that quality in the back line, though. I think Wesley Fofana can be an elite defender. I think Levi Colwell can be as well. But I would agree, right now, in terms of players performing to their absolute best, we probably don't have any elite defenders right now at this current point in time. But I think with the likes of Gusto, with the likes of Fofana, Colwell, etc., in the next couple of years, they have got the quality to be elite level defenders. They're not maybe quite there yet, but they absolutely have the quality to do so. Yes, big up. Yes, big up, brother. Happy with the progress on the Maresca. Those fixtures after the international break will tell us a lot about the team. Yeah, they will. We've got obviously Liverpool and United away in quite quick succession after the international break, which is why this run of home games is so vitally important. So vitally important. No, he's not bad, but you wouldn't describe him as an elite level player. This is the progress we wanted, and it comes with a style of play and many different game plans. Yeah, exactly. Can't wait for the Conference League vlog. Well, I mean, to be honest, bro, I'm not sure how exciting the Conference League vlog's going to be. But yeah, they'll be there. I need to get to some away games in the Conference League. I'm working on that. Maybe Germany. Kazakhstan has been discussed with the boys. We're seeing on that one. It's an absolute trek. It's like 3 flights to get there, but it would make a brilliant trip. I can't lie. Just last season we lost against. But exactly. Lucky to get through. What last night or just I don't know what you're on about. Chelsea. I mean to relax with the Chelsea. We haven't beaten anyone of significance yet. I'll judge us after the October and. Look, I don't think people are getting carried away. I think, we can only judge what we've seen. And last season, let's be totally honest, we would have lost against West Ham and we would have lost against Bournemouth. Those are the sort of games we would have lost last season. And so I think, whilst I'm going to formulate a stronger opinion when we've played another 10 games and there's 15 games into the season, I think right now, if we're being totally honest, other than the Crystal Palace game, we couldn't have had a better start to the season. Other than the Palace game, we couldn't have had a better start to the season. That is my genuine thoughts on the situation. Is that we couldn't have had a better start to the season, guys. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen here. Obviously, yes, we got tougher tests to come after the international break. There are some tricky fixtures coming up. But look, right now we've got to enjoy what's going on. We've got to enjoy what we're seeing. And it's just nice to watch positive football, attacking football. And it's nice to watch winning football. We've lost 1 game this season in the league, the first one of the season. It's nice to go to games. And I'm sure it's nice for you guys watching, if you're not there, to actually see us winning and playing well. It makes such a big difference. What else, guys? There's so much coming in. Yes, big up little Chelsea tech fleece settings. How much to go to Kazakhstan? I don't know yet, bro. I'm not sure. Mate, to be honest, bro, for the Football Content Awards, I don't even think I nominated I mean, I think you have to be nominated or something. I'm not really sure how any of that stuff works, but I appreciate the support, bro. At home we did. I'm talking about away from home. Our record at London Stadium is dog shit. Absolutely dog shit record at the London Stadium. Were the Poch projects that a clear style of play? Yeah, look, I'm more than happy to hold my hands up. I was disappointed that Pochettino was sacked. I think he should have. I thought he should have been given this season. But do you know what? Maresca's come in. It was an underwhelming appointment. Let's make no bones about it, guys. It was an underwhelming appointment, and he's come in and he's done really well. He's getting his style of play across. There's a clear identity, clear ideas, multiple different options, and tactical flexibility on the football pitch. The players are getting used to what he's doing. And I think this is really positive, guys. I think this is really positive what we're doing at the moment. Hopefully James back after the international break. Yeah, James will be back when he's back. I'm not losing any sleep over when he's going to return. Let him do his thing. We've got gusto, and let's hope when he does come back that he doesn't suffer any setbacks. We should pick up 6 points in our next 2 games. Look, we can absolutely get a result at Liverpool, but let's take it a game at a time. We're still looking. I know we've only played 2 games in the league at home. Maresca's still looking for his first league win at home. And look, realistically, we should be beating Brighton and Forest at home, but games aren't won on paper, guys. Brighton is a tricky side. They've bought some decent players. They've got a new manager in Fabian Herzler. The young guy's 31 years of age, youngest ever Premier League manager, and this, they're gonna pose a different threat. They might make it really difficult for us to break them down. So, I'm looking at those kind of games and I'm thinking, right, okay, this is going to be a test of our credentials. Can we break down a low block team? We're going to create chances. Can we break a low block team down? We're going to find out. And then you look at the Forest game. We should be beating them. They've started the season very well. And actually, since Forest came up, we've not beaten them at Stamford Bridge. They've beaten us on both occasions. Both occasions, Forest have beaten us. So, yeah, that's kind of a mad one. Guys, there's almost 100 in the building. There's only 35 likes. Keep smashing that like button, guys. Let's get this up over 100 likes. That would be fantastic. We're just shy of 100 people in the building. Please smash the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do, and I would really appreciate it, and it helps get more eyes on the channel. So please hit the thumbs up button, people. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new. Not buying this Maresca ball. It's how we used to play. But used to play when, though? Like, we're going years back here. I think, there's been some real positives. Yes, before I can formulate more of a stronger opinion, we're going to need to see a bigger sample size of games. But I honestly think he deserves enormous credit for the work that he's done since he came in. I think he deserves enormous credit. People weren't really giving him much of a chance. He obviously won the championship with Leicester last season. This is a huge step up. He's not very experienced. He's got a good reputation within the game. He's well thought of. And I think, coming into a bit of a basket case club like Chelsea are at the moment, getting off to a good start is vital. And he has got off to a good start, and long may it continue. But yes, we are going to find out a lot more about this team when we go to the Liverpools, when we go to the Man Uniteds and whatnot, big away games. That's when we're going to find out, what this team is about. But the early evidence suggests, that this team has got a little bit about it. And so I'm excited to see what we're going to do. I don't trust us against Brighton or Forest at home. It would be so Chelsea to thump Brighton this weekend and lose. Well, look, that would be a Chelsea thing of the past. Let's hope that it's not a Chelsea thing under Maresca. But look, there's no gimmies in Premier League football. There's no guarantees at all. We need to make Stamford Bridge a fortress. Yeah, look, the home form's getting better. What I like is how clear Maresca is in his pressers, gives us tactical info as well. Yeah, I agree on that. I was always an advocate to say that Chelsea needed to sign a striker. My view is slightly changing with the form of Jackson and Nkunku. I don't believe that we need a striker. In the winter. No, next summer, let's assess our options and see. But if Jackson and Nkunku stay fit and they stay in the form that they're in right now, I don't see the need for us to sign a striker in the winter. Absolutely don't. I agree on that. Yep, Herzler won't be in the dugout, so I don't know how much difference that really makes, to be honest. Of course, and I think Jadon Sancho is going to be a big help with that. We saw it against Bournemouth, his link up with Nkunku and whatnot. Yeah, we are going to have difficulties. We are going to have difficulties, in certain games, and it's about can we find those solutions? That's a big plus. The real question is who should start at right wing. Look, I think Madueke will continue to start at right wing until he performs. Look, he didn't have a great game against West Ham. I'll give you that. Neto did well against Barrow last night, got his first goal for the club. It's great options to have. I'm never going to moan about having too many options. And it's a great headache to have. You want as many players in form as possible. And that is what we're getting at the moment. No, look, he's got, there's a better squad in terms of there's more depth and there's more attacking quality. Absolutely. But not other than that, there's not an awful lot of difference. We've added Felix, Sancho and Neto, more attacking depth, but everything else is pretty much the same. And look, we deserve praise for what we're doing so far. I don't think any of the praise is overboard. No one's saying we're going to suddenly go and challenge for the league or anything like that. No one's saying that at all. But we deserve praise for the start that we've made. And I don't think it's blowing smoke up the arse or anything like that at all. We deserve praise for what we're doing, in my opinion. And I think we're doing a very good job so far. Some fans are ungrateful for what the coach is doing, like they haven't seen what we have been doing the last 2 years. I hear you. Yeah, Mudryk had a decent game. Look, it took him a little bit of time to get into it, but his decision making was a lot better. Unselfish for the Neto assist, and he got inside he beat the fullback on a number of occasions, put a couple of dangerous balls into the box. This is more of what we want to see. Yes, it's League Two opposition, and you would expect that, but you can only play what's in front of you. And this was definitely a step in the right direction for him. Obviously, we need to see more, and he'll be hoping to get an opportunity from the bench against Brighton on Saturday, having not featured at all against Bournemouth or West Ham. Yep, that's certainly an option. I think at the moment that's Madueke's place, but if he has another quiet game against Brighton, then I would expect maybe Neto to come in for the next Premier League game against Nottingham Forest. In my opinion, Nkunku would start in every PL team without City. What as a centre forward? But let's see. How do they pick the representatives for the overlap? I've got absolutely no idea how they do it. I presume it's just people that have got, I don't know, people that have got a following, I suppose. I guess that's how it goes. I mean, someone like Matisse would be far better. I think he's been on once, but yeah, the Chelsea rep seems to change on quite a consistent basis. Madueke is inconsistent. I think his consistency is improved. Decision making at times, needs to be better, but you can say that for a lot of players. I'm not really on board with some of the strays that Madueke is catching after his performance against West Ham. Oh, Wesley Fofana. I like Tosin, he's done well, but Fofana is a much better player than him, in my opinion. I don't think it's as drastic as that, but yeah, we've got the options. We've got the options, and that is always a good thing. Always a good thing. But I don't think you can play them together because then what happens? Cole Palmer is nowhere near as effective out wide, and who's going to do the defending? When you have all these options, it's great because any drop off in form, you're out. Yeah, exactly. This is what you want. Top level football. You want competition for places. Look at the squad we had when we were winning leagues under Mourinho. We had Duff and Robin down one side, Joe Cole and Wright Phillips on the other, or whatever it was. 2 top quality players in each position. And now we've got it, and people are saying, "Oh, who should play? Whoever's playing the best will play." That's how it should be. If you're in form and you're playing well, then you will play. That's the reality of the situation, in my view. Do your job, play well, and you'll be in the team. Notice how Chelsea winning games makes everything. Yeah, of course it does. Of course it does. There's this is what I've always said. There's always going to be noise about Chelsea, but to keep that noise in the background, do well on the football pitch, and people don't talk about it. And that's what we're doing right now. We're winning, we're playing well, and there's a lot less discourse surrounding the football club. So said Star squad has improved. Yeah, I think it has in terms of the attacking quality. Yes, you would say overall the squad is better. Yeah, I don't think that can be argued with. I would agree that the squad is definitely better. Yes, big up, brother. No worries. Thank you for being here. But yeah, look, I think there's plenty of things. If you look at our record under Maresca, I'm just going to bring it up on the screen now, and obviously in the 7 games, how many games are you playing on Maresca? 8. So you played 5. Yeah, 8 games. 5 in the league, 2 in the Conference League, 1 in the Carabao. 5 wins, 2 losses, a draw. We've scored 19 goals and we've let in 7. That's not bad, is it? As far as starts go, I don't think we can be asking for much more. We're scoring a lot of goals. We've tightened up defensively, and yeah, we're essentially exactly. Look, we're essentially averaging 4 goals a game at the moment, roughly, give or take. Yes, big up, brother. Yeah. Bit of a change of pace, a bit different to your usual game, but nice to see a number of goals go in, and yeah, exciting times going forward. Maresca's overtaken Poch in the last 5 game ratings. Yeah. Look, I think he's doing well. He's doing really well. He deserves credit. And one thing that he's carried on, and one thing that I will give Pochettino credit for, is the togetherness within the squad. He built, a good bond with that squad, and that's carried on under Maresca. Everyone's together, everyone's pulling in the right direction. I think players genuinely like each other. Players genuinely want to be at this football club, which is a stark contrast to what we've had before. So yeah, it's Pochettino deserves credit for that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, of course they are. The media's fickle. The media's fickle. They have to change their tune because we're doing well. Their negative BS that they want to run is not runnable right now because we're doing well. You can guarantee that these men have got their articles saved in drafts for the moment something goes wrong. They can't wait. They cannot wait to, they will be hating this. They will be absolutely hating it that Chelsea are doing well and Chelsea are kind of, pulling themselves together. They'll be absolutely hating it. It was a great touch to give Chile the armband. Yeah, look, I thought, at the end of the day, Chilwell needs to play some minutes because we're trying to get rid of him. And if he's not playing football, his price is going to go down even more than it already has. And, no one's going to be interested in taking someone that's not played any football since that. Those were his first minutes since April. So yeah, look, he's not in the Conference League squad. Premier League, I think he's unlikely to get minutes. Maybe in the Carabao Cup's really his only chance. So yeah, we do need to see a little bit more. We need to see a bit more from him. But yeah, look, I think it was good. It was nice to see him. Whatever people think of him, he's given a lot to this football club over the years. And he got a great reception when he came on. He got a great reception at the end of the game as well. And it's about respect, people. No one's saying that Chilwell should be here long term. I think everyone understands and accepts that. But I'm never going to criticize anyone who, despite the situation he's found himself in, has never moaned once. No public statements. He's put his head down. He's worked hard, and he backs himself to try and get back into the team. Well, I'm not going to criticize or knock anyone for doing that. Simply not going to do it. Hope people don't turn on Maresca in a couple. No, I don't think they will. We could go above Man City going into the international break. I mean, look, maybe we could. But I mean, look, for me, I'm just focusing on Chelsea and what will be with everyone else. I had no expectation about Wolves and West Ham matches. 2 out of 10 wins from them. But Maresca, wow. But Forest and Brighton both still unbeaten this season. Yeah, exactly. Both still unbeaten this season. So these are going to be tough games coming up. These will be tough games. There's no denying that, people. Absolutely no denying that these will be tough games. Apparently, players were sad Poch got sacked. Yeah, no, they were disappointed. Yeah, at the time. But life moves fast in football, and you have to get over disappointments very quickly. Maresca also literally say away fan support is better. Yeah, well, everyone knows that the away support is better than the home support, and I think you get that for all clubs because the away support is like the hardcore. That's just the reality. Albie's World, hello. Maresca had 31 wins when bought Leicester up, never been done before. No, look, he's no mug. He's forging a good reputation for himself in the game, but he's very, very inexperienced. Yeah, exactly. And you get that. There's like a sense of freedom. There's a sense of enjoyment when the guys are out there, and that's what you want. Yes, you're playing professional football, but you should be going out there and playing how you would in the park with your mates. Just like, that's what we want. Would you take top 6th or 5th spot this season? Well, if we come 5th and win the Conference League, I think that's a very good season. I would obviously sign up for that. I mean, yeah, but the Gallagher situation was not ideal, and I criticised the club heavily for their handling of that situation. So I'm not really sure what your point is, but yeah, look, Maresca's doing all the right things. He's saying all the right things. We're moving in the right direction under him, and I think there's a lot to be excited about. And I look at what for me is going to be a big difference maker is our attacking depth. We have got genuine game changers on the pitch and on the bench. Look at this. the attacking depth is crazy. I think I might maybe referenced this earlier on, but let's go into this into a bit more detail, guys. So we start Sancho, Jackson, Noni, and Palmer against West Ham, and then a few days later you've got Mudryk, Nkunku, Neto, and Felix starting. The attacking depth is absolutely out of this world. It's out of this world. No one in the league is living with that. To have those options is incredible. You've got 4 of them starting, and 4 of them are going to be on the bench. And when you've got those options, the ability to change games is it's not gonna happen every week, but you'd imagine more weeks than not, someone is going to come off the bench and will make a massive, massive difference to the game. We saw Sancho and Nkunku come off the bench and link up, to get the winner against Bournemouth. Against West Ham, we were able to bring on Neto's, Felix's, Nkunku's. And this is the difference in big games, in tight games against teams that are employing a low block, against tiring defenders. When you are able to bring on that level of quality, you are cooking and you are heading, in the right direction. There's no doubt about it. And there's not a single team in the Premier League, in my view, that has got anywhere near as good a depth in attack as we do. Please tell me one team that's got that level of attacking depth, because Man City don't, because Arsenal don't, because United don't, because Liverpool don't either. Liverpool may be the closest, but for me, we've got by far and away the best attacking depth in the Premier League. And we've got genuine game changers on the pitch, and we've got genuine game changers on the bench. So for me, you're not going to win every week. You're going to go through difficult spells, but we have got all the tools at our disposal to be able to win a significant amount of games this season. And I don't see why we can't do that. Guys, keep smashing the like button as well, by the way. What's going on here? We're 107 viewers, we're 54 likes. Come on, guys. Come on. What's going on here? Run these likes up. We should be on 100 likes, people. So please keep smashing the like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do. Run it up. And let's get as many likes on the board as we can. I trust Fofana, but after Bournemouth away and West Ham away, I like to see Gusto tossing. No, but he played. I don't know why Fofana are getting on. I don't know why people are getting on Fofana. I don't know why people are getting on Fofana. Yeah, it would look decent. We are looking good. I need us to go through this insane run of 5 to 7 fixtures with some good results. Look, tougher times are ahead. There's no doubt about it, guys. Tougher times are ahead. But I'm confident that we can do something. I'm confident we can do well. And look, when you've got depth like that, it's crazy. And I think someone's in so-called attacking options and strength in depth is only as good as your midfield to do the creating. We've got good midfield options. We've got Enzo, we've got Caicedo, we've got Lavia, we've got these guys. So look, everything's there. It's just about putting it together. But when you've got that level of quality, there's no you're gonna do well in a lot of games. It absolutely could. Like Mudryk, Nkunku, Neto, and Felix is that's pretty much the backup attack right now, and that would start for most Premier League teams. That's how crazy that is. That would start for most Premier League teams. It's mad. It's absolutely mad that could start for most Premier League teams, and that's basically our backup options. No, not yet. I need to see more. A good performance against Barrow is not going to suddenly win me over. I need to see more from Felix on a consistent basis. But I hope that he does well. But I'm not won over because he's done a good performance against Barrow in the cup. Midfield depth's decent as well. Yeah, it is. There's no denying that. This is why it was vital for a good start. Yeah. I hear you. Someone's gonna have to leave. Someone's gonna have to leave. Of course they are. Hey.
Hello. You're
How you doing? You all right?
Yes. Hi everyone.
Yes. Basically just to discussing the old the attacking depth in the team, the squad and whatnot. When you look at like what we're doing right now, and there's been a lot of criticism about sort of the planning while we're signing so many players and whatnot, and then you look at the attack that we're able to field against West Ham, and then a couple of days later, the attack that we're able to play against Barrow. That attack that we played last night, that's good enough to start to be a first choice attack for a lot of Premier League teams. The people criticize the squad building and whatnot. I've been critical of the squad building at times over the last few years, but you look at that from an attacking perspective, and you think, like we're gonna find it very difficult not to score in a lot of games this season. You would expect us to pretty much score in the majority of games with those attacking options available. That you got 8 attacking players there who are all good enough to start for the majority of Premier League sides. And if you're struggling in a game, you turn to one of them, and 1 in 4, most weeks is bound to do something. For me, it's the best attacking depth in the Premier League, and it's a really blessed position to be in.
Yeah, for sure. I guess it's a bit of both, though, from a player perspective, that it's both a blessing and a curse, because everyone obviously wants to play at the end of the day, but those spots are limited. But obviously that's good that we're now in the Conference League. We've got domestic cups coming up. There's minutes there for everyone. But I agree with the point you make about that front line that we saw yesterday is worthy to start in the Premier League. You look at someone like Christopher Nkunku, he's done it in the league. He came on and scored against Wolves and Liverpool when the games were pretty much done and dusted, but he's a player that doesn't need much time to produce an impact on the pitch. You look at Pedro Neto, he's done it in the Premier League as well. He's also someone that would want that starting lineup, a starting spot. But yeah, again, you can't play everyone, but I think it's a good thing that we can keep players fit. We can keep players rested. Those that get more minutes can have a time to chill out. But yeah, I mean, it's a welcome problem to have. You look at Joao Felix too. He's someone that was probably promised a lot of game time when he came. But I mean, regardless for him, he was always going to prefer the move to Chelsea. Like, what else was he going to do? There was no place for him at Atletico anymore. But yeah, out of all those players that I see in that list right now, I'd say probably Mykhailo Mudryk is the only one that you probably would make a case doesn't necessarily deserve to start over the other names that are on that list.
No, for sure. I mean, look, it's I was saying earlier, I'm never going to moan about having too many quality players available when at a time when there's all this stuff about are we playing too many games, are there too many matches in football and whatnot. The answer to that is having a bigger squad with stacked full of quality, and that's what we've got. So to be able to switch it up from game to game and have so many different choices is only a positive. This is like when people say, who's going to play? Or should it be Jackson? Should it be Nkunku? I don't care who it is. Like they're 2 quality players, both in form. I'm never going to moan about having too many players in form and too many players that are all playing well. At the end of the day, having this competition for places is going to keep those people who are in the starting lineup on their toes, because they know if they drop a bad performance, they're out the team and someone else is going to come in and take their place. And that's what playing for a big football club is all about. You need that competition for places. It pushes players on to do better. And for me, I don't understand why you've got some fans that say, we've got too many players. Should it be Jackson? Should it be Nkunku? Why is it always one or the other? Why can't it be both? We've got 2 strikers that are both.
And they link up well as well. The 2 can play together.
I don't think we're going to see that, because Nkunku, we're not going to see it, because he's not going to play them both together, because unless Palmer's injured, but then probably Felix is probably ahead of Nkunku in the 10. But I mean, just on Nkunku, right? Because there's a lot of people that say, he should play more and whatnot. Why is he not starting? I look at him, right, and his goal scoring record is very, very good. He's got 9 goals in 886 minutes for Chelsea. In general, he's not played a lot of football. His conversion rate is phenomenal. He's the best finisher at the football club. But for me, I think the reason why he doesn't start, and I've said it so many times, is because he doesn't offer what Jackson offers to the team. And if I'm a centre-back, I'd rather play against Nkunku, because he's not the type of player that runs in behind. He's not the type of player that runs channels, that drags defenders out of position. He's very much one of those guys that, is good in the tight spaces, is He's a very good finisher. He offers a different threat, but he doesn't offer what Jackson offers. And I often think that actually, when we're scoring a lot of goals on a counter attack and whatnot, Jackson's pace and Jackson's ability to get in behind is actually more valuable. So this is not me saying that Nkunku is shit or whatever. This is me saying that actually, right now, his role is perhaps better suited off the bench. I mean, do you understand? Like, do you think that as well, or do you actually generally think that he should be starting more games?
I mean, I'd say both. I understand the first point of view, and I think purely because I think Nkunku's a player we probably try and protect a little bit more just because of his injury record. I think that could be true too, but purely because Jackson's now kind of been on a roll, I think Enzo Maresca really rates his work ethic, and considering he is basically our only out-and-out number 9 that we decided to give a chance and to kind of be that first choice, not have to compete with another kind of pure number 9, and you don't really want to stop that by benching him, starting Nkunku in these games. And I think Jackson's someone that thrives off playing consistently, being picked, being selected, being first choice, and I think you push that. But Nkunku's proven so far to be a super sub in so many games where he's come on, individual brilliance. And I said yesterday that while I've known him to have the reputation of coming on and being someone that can win you a game, he's also a team player, in my opinion. He's great with his link-up play. I think he made Neto and Felix look much better on the pitch as well. Not that they're not good on their own, but I think he complements them very, very well because he's so comfortable on the ball. And but in future, I think hopefully, God forbid, there's no injuries with Jackson whatsoever, but you feel quite safe knowing that Nkunku could play up there. I think I didn't necessarily favour him to play as a false 9 or play as a striker or just play up top in general. I thought when we brought him in, he'd play in a bit more of a creative role, but he's really proved me wrong because he's so much more clinical. He's very, very clinical, and I think that's something that you invite more, you push more. It's a super strength as such, but I think we'll see him. He'll play, in the Conference League. He can start in the domestic cups. Jackson, for now, he can have the Premier League starts because considering his numbers so far in the Prem combined with last season, Jackson's proving a lot of people wrong, me included. I'll hold my hands high.
No, he started the season really well. I mean, Jackson's got four goals and 2 assists in 5 Premier League games. I mean, I just don't understand why there's still Chelsea fans out there that criticise him and don't rate him. Like it's mad for me. He offers so much to this team. His finishing looks like it's improving on the early evidence so far, and his all-round play is so important to the team. The amount of chances that he creates, the way that he creates space for others by dragging defenders out of position. He works hard for the team. He does a lot of things that Nkunku doesn't do. But then on the flip side, if you want a chance to fall to someone, you'd rather it falls to Nkunku. But ultimately, it's a good problem to have. And I think...
Well, his conversion rate is much better. It's proven. Nkunku's conversion rate is a lot better than Jackson.
Oh, yeah, of course it is. Yeah. No, it is. But, I mean, right now, both these guys are performing well.
Yeah.
I was like, it's weird how things work out, right? Because I think me and you both, and obviously a lot of other Chelsea fans, people in the chat and that, were really pissed off we didn't sign a striker this summer. But now I know, like, obviously hindsight's great in that, and opinions change when facts change in that. But if we'd signed a striker this summer, let's say Osimhen had come in, Nkunku's fucked. Well, because it would be Osimhen and Jackson, Felix and Palmer in the 10s, Neto and Madueke, and then Mudryk and Sancho. If we'd signed a striker, what happens to Nkunku?
I mean, you would have argued.
Has your opinion changed though? Like, do you still think we need a striker?
Well, look, like you say, hindsight is a wonderful thing and it can really paint delusional pictures sometimes. But I think, I don't want to get carried away. I'm obviously very happy with how we started this season, but I'm aware that as soon as it comes to us playing a top 6 side where we could be very close to coming and winning potentially, but we're just separated by that chance that wasn't finished and it could come down to Jackson. I know that we'll be back at square one where people will again bring up the whole point. See, this is where a very experienced number 9, a clinical number 9 is separated from a Nico Jackson who's up and coming and learning, got so much potential, but perhaps isn't quite there at the top of his game yet, and will be there very quickly. So while I'd like to say that in this present time, if he continues on the way he does, if he continues, assisting, providing the goals, like you say, you have to rate his work ethic as well and what he does off the ball, because that's also very important and shouldn't go unnoticed. But I hope that somewhere down the line it doesn't come down to that we're missing that striker. But it's very easy to say right now because our wingers are scoring goals too. So that helps as well. I think what we found a lot previous kind of couple seasons when we had like wingers like Ziyech and Pulisic who just couldn't really score those goals for you, it made that kind of striker that was missing there, or the one that wasn't scoring goals, it felt like a lot more heavy because we didn't have goals coming across other places on the pitch, and ultimately they could spam as many crosses as they wanted, but no one was really ever there to finish it. So I think now it helps because Jackson almost he can be given that second kind of lifeline in games if our wingers continue to produce the numbers that they do, right? Because then we can allow him actually to give him the time that he deserves to get better, grow, hit the numbers here and there. If sometimes he has an off day, it still be fine because we're having like your Sanchos, your Palmers, your Maduekes, or whoever else scoring the goals, then great. It's a good environment to have. But yeah, I just really, really hope that continues on, because I think the moment that perhaps goals drop from other areas, then that's easier to kind of put that player in the limelight that's playing up top and say, well, where are those goals? But yeah, he'll learn. Hopefully he continues, he gets better. But I think Jackson is in a much better place this season already than he was last season because, the players around him have stepped up big time.
Yeah, I think that's the massive thing that I've noticed. By the way, chat, let me know if you think that we need to sign a striker or not. Do you think it's something we should be reassessing, like when we get to January, see if Nkunku and Jackson could keep performing well? I mean, what happens to Nkunku if we sign a striker? Let me know in the chat, people, what you guys are thinking about whether we need a striker or not. But I think I look at it now and I just feel like, I'm not saying that Chelsea want to get rid of Nkunku by any stretch of the imagination, but if we were to sign a striker, I just don't know where he suddenly then fits in. But it's a great problem to have. It's a great situation to be in. And maybe we had the answers on our books all along, and maybe we don't need a striker. Maybe Nkunku and Jackson is enough with the supporting cast stepping up. I think early evidence so far has shown that the supporting cast are stepping up. Palmer was marked out of the game against Bournemouth. Yes, he scored against West Ham, but he was still relatively ineffective, and it's not mattered. Last season, if Palmer was ineffective in a game, we were finished. If nothing was going to happen. Now, if Palmer doesn't really do particularly well, we're in a luxury last week against West Ham. We could take him off after an hour, and it doesn't matter. Imagine doing that last season, taking Palmer off after an hour. We would have been fucked. Like we literally would have been fucked. We would have been absolutely done. You got Sancho contributing, you got Neto contributing, Nkunku, Jackson. All these guys are contributing. It's a big thing. And yes, big up to Brian for the super chat. Yes, if one of them gets injured, take that on board. But can we really be stockpiling players just in case someone gets injured? Because you can guarantee if we sign the striker, everyone stays fit, and you've got a massive problem. Look, if you were able to, I mean, I'm sort of done with the Osimhen thing, but I don't know if Chelsea are or not. But I just look at it and I just don't know where all these pieces fit. For me, if a centre forward were to come in, then someone needs to go, and Jackson's not going. Then that leaves you with Nkunku. But then it would be ridiculous to even consider getting rid of Nkunku. So yeah, it's a mad one. But then when you see someone like Gyökeres who's banging goals in and looks like a top player, you're sort of thinking, wouldn't mind a bit of that in my team. But it's almost like you're getting a little bit too greedy.
With signing like an Osimhen, did you say?
Yeah, it's just like it's a bit greedy, but I'd love to have someone like Victor Gyökeres in the team. I think he's like he's smashing goals in for fun. Looks like a top player. It's a great position to be in, but I just
do you know what though? Now
I don't know if we need someone or not.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? On that note, because I, like you, have been chewing on that Osimhen prospect this whole summer and talking back and forth about him coming to Chelsea. But now that I've actually seen us on the pitch, I'm looking at it with a different perspective from the fact that the players that we have playing, particularly those in the attacking areas, a lot of them, not that they're unproven, but a lot of them are trying to prove that they deserve to be regular starters, that they deserve and can be experienced. With someone like an Osimhen coming in, he comes in with a very big ego because he knows what he can do for a team, and he knows that he's been carrying Napoli in a lot of games through seasons, lifting
Wonder if
trophies
it
with them.
upsets the balance. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean though. But it's from both. It's both from a physical perspective and it's also from a mental perspective, because everyone here at Chelsea currently is trying to prove themselves. A lot of the players that play in those areas, right? With Osimhen, there's a sense of an entitlement that he has to be, that player that starts, and then everything else is built around him, if that makes sense. And maybe some will argue that that's fair because of his numbers, whatever. But purely the project that and I know project gets thrown around a lot, but purely with what we're trying to do right now and what we're trying to build, maybe it doesn't make that much sense for an Osimhen to be in this team.
no, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like I just feel a bit stupid because I spent all summer every day banging on about strikers.
Same though, Charlie. Like we've been there,
and now
like a
we're 5
parrot.
games into the season, and I'm sort of thinking, maybe we don't need one.
And then
Just
watch like 5 games down the line, we're like, oh, we should have signed.
Yeah, but then Jackson more there, whatever misses a few chances. Oh yeah, fuck, we should have signed someone. But no, I'm happy to say that my opinion's maybe changed a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and fully say we definitely don't need one, but I'm more edging towards now. I'm quite happy to go for the rest of this season with what we've got. I mean, signing a striker in January is almost an impossible task. There's very few available. And you end up, paying well over the odds. Let me get to a few things in the chat, and then we will move on. I would like a striker if they're better than what we have. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, if you can improve on what you've got, that's fine. But what happens to what you've got is then the issue. This week we're okay. I still think we need to look at the goalkeeper situation. Yeah, I would agree. I think we need a proper goalkeeper. I would rather have a world-class goalkeeper before we find someone like another striker. Mudryk leaves. Yeah, I think Mudryk probably does leave before Nkunku. That wasn't my point. My point was though that if a striker does come in, Jackson won't leave. So what then happens to Nkunku? I'm not saying that he'd leave as well, but it leaves you with a little bit of a problem. So anyway, one thing I did want to talk about, right, is I didn't realize how effective these two were. Right? There was a piece in The Athletic today about since the start of last season, right, Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson have been the best attacking partnership in the Premier League. They've scored 10 goals together from 22 chances created, so better than Bailey and Watkins, better than Saka and Havertz, Nunes and Salah. I didn't realise quite how good this pair were together. Best attacking duo in the league since the start of last season. That's so small on the screen, by the way. Are you surprised at how important they both are? Because there's another thing here, right? Since the start of last season, when Jackson and Palmer both start together, Chelsea's points per game is 1.9, and then when they don't start together, it's 1.3. These two are really important. I didn't quite realise how good their link up was and how good their on-pitch chemistry was, because everyone bangs on about how Palmer and Madueke have got a really good link up, but Palmer's scored twice this season. Both goals have been set up by Jackson. I'm sure Palmer's assisted Jackson on numerous occasions since they've been at the club. When they both start, that's a big difference in points per game. I mean, are you surprised that those stats, and you actually have you ever thought about how important both of them are? I know that might seem like a bit of a weird question, but I would never have put those two down as being the best attacking duo in the league since the start of last season.
Yeah, no, I mean the numbers, I didn't really know that those were the exact numbers. I did know that they've got a little bit of a Like, yeah, a good link-up play coming on. And, I mean, even against Wolves, that Jackson's assist to Cole Palmer's goal, that was probably, I mean, one of the best combines that I've seen them, the assist and the goal being as good as they were. But, yeah, I mean, they've obviously evidently grown into it together, haven't they? I think they both really have a strong connection as well off the pitch. I think that does help. I'm a firm believer in relationships off the pitch, meaning something on the pitch. You know, you even see it when they celebrate. Like, they are so supportive of each other. They're like, yes, bro, you've scored. Yes, bro, I assisted you. And it's such a nice thing to see. But yeah, I mean, that just tells you how much we really have improved. And that means that something is actually happening on the pitch, right? But yeah, and I know a lot of fans will try and discount it and say that the opposition we've played has made it easier for them to be able to do that, score goals for fun. But I don't think that's fair to say, because I'd argue that we're very different from other teams, particularly like the ones that they'll put that really were in and around top six last season. We were losing a lot of games that were from, 10th below, mid-table teams that we were playing, we were losing. So even those people that are claiming that we're currently getting too carried away because of the teams that we have beaten, but I'd say no. Wolves did the double over us last season. We lost home and away to them, and it was extensive scorelines both times. You look at teams like Man City, of course we're going to have a tough time against them on the opening day. Crystal Palace, another team that we were kind of grinding out results with difficulty last season again. So I'm not sitting here thinking that this is a given. I know where we're at. I'm very aware that we deserve to be happy. I'd obviously very much rather have an easier run at the start of the season, give us time to ease in, and then face the bigger teams. Why should we really jump the gun? Why should we really be in a rush here? Oh, let's see what Chelsea does when you play the top six teams. Okay, yeah, fair enough, but we've now got a much better foundation here. Players are more comfortable. So when it does come to, playing the Arsenals, the Liverpools, the other teams, then we can actually be in a much more confident state and have a better go. So yeah, it's great. To go back to your initial question, long may it continue, Jackson and Cole.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing really well. I mean, like this is obviously going to be a big season for Palmer. By the way, guys, keep smashing the likes. Well, we at 100 yet? No, we're not. We're on 75. Guys, there's 122 in the building. Let's get this up to 100.
Smash the likes, people.
Guys, it's 25 more if my maths is right. Yeah, my maths is right. Guys, it's 25 more likes. Come on, there's more than enough people in there, so make sure you run it up. Subscribe if you're new around here. Guys, someone in the chat, let me know when we're at 100. That should be done in the next 5 minutes. If it's not, then we're going to have to go through it again. In terms of Palmer, obviously luxury to be able to leave him out completely last night. That's a great position to be in. Ridiculous season last season. Started this season well. We've noticed now that teams are going to be doing a man marking job on him, are going to be, trying to
he's like the most fouled player now, isn't he?
But this is ridiculous, right? Since he signed for us, he's got the most goal involvements in the Premier League, along with Erling Haaland, since he joined for us. Considering before he signed for us, he hadn't scored a single Premier League goal. I mean, that stat is quite remarkable, really, and goes to show sort of how big an impact he's had. I mean, obviously we touched on that the supporting cast are kind of stepping up, certainly in the early part of this season. What are you expecting from Palmer this year? Because it is going to be very different. Everyone knows what he's about. We've seen that the sort of tactics that teams are going to start to try and employ against him. He's going to have more frustrating afternoons. He is going to be marked out of games. He still started the season pretty well, 6 GNA in the first 5 games. What are you looking for from him this season? Obviously, there's not going to be no burden on him to step up and deliver. Yeah. But what do you think he can do for us this year?
I think he can actually be a normal player as opposed to someone that's, running a one-man show in a team that's struggling and learning and changing managers. And I think that even when Cole Palmer is subpar, and I'll say it like this, because when he's subpar, he's just literally a normal, really good footballer still, because of how amazing he is and how high his ceiling is. I think he still is able to contribute so much to the team, even when he's having, again, an off day. And that is just a testament to how good Cole Palmer is. And again, I think nobody can take away from those numbers, the stats, the trophies, the nomination, and I mean personal, individual, man of the match man of the match performances and everything. But yeah, you're right. We can't expect the same numbers, but that's actually better for me. I'd much rather, that those numbers be shared and more players step up around him. We're also now seeing that Madueke can score you Premier League goals. We get Jackson scoring Premier League goals. You get Neto, Felix, Nkunku, all these players that are able to score goals. And I think Cole Palmer is probably thinking, yeah, okay, that's a bit of a weight off my shoulders. Because can you imagine if we'd gone into another season with no other goal scorers and Palmer is just feeling this weight where he is having to literally get Chelsea through and over the line in every single game? There's only so much time where you as a player are going to become exhausted, probably lose a little bit of hope in the project. Because at the end of the day, it's a team sport. Of course, everyone wants to do best. There are competitions for goals, golden boots competitions and all. But at the end of the day, what we have going on at Chelsea here is very much about building a collective team, because we're really not about the individuals anymore. For us, it's now about winning trophies, competing as a collective, as a team. That's why we take so much pride away when we have performances like last night, regardless if they're against Barrow or not. Nida reminds people we struggled against League 2 teams, League 1 teams, Championship level opposition last season. So actually, when you look at it, yeah, I'm very happy that we all had a collective performance, that everybody contributed something to the side and to the success and to the victory on the night. So yeah, I'm not letting anyone discount anything that Chelsea does until we get back into that level where we're consistently at. Then okay, maybe then we can talk about and say, well, yeah, that game absolutely should have been 5-0, of course. But until then, yeah, we take every day and every victory as a good thing, as a praise. They didn't come as a given last season or the season before.
No, absolutely. Yeah. These next two league matches are really crucial. As I referenced earlier, we haven't beaten Forest at Stamford Bridge since they came back to the Premier League. Brighton's always a tricky one. We have beaten them the last couple of times at Stamford Bridge, I think.
But they were feisty games, weren't they?
But they were tricky. I think they had a 3-2 when Enzo scored twice. That might have been last season. I don't know. But yeah, like that. Brighton's not easy. Brighton and Forest are both still unbeaten this season. They're going to be tough games, and we're yet to win at home in the league. We've only had 2 league games at home, but they're going to pose difficult problems. We're probably going to see a lot of the ball. We're probably going to have to be trying to break teams down. And we saw against Palace, we played well. We switched off for one moment, we conceded, and we weren't able to break them down. And that's the onus is going to be on us. Again, I don't agree with that at all. Like this idea that Poch was injuring players, I'm just not buying it. What? Because now that, so if anyone that gets injured now, it's Maresca's fault, is it? If someone gets injured, like
I don't understand that comment.
No, I don't. Like Nkunku's not like Nkunku got injured in pre-season under Pochettino. I don't really get that at all. I don't know.
But he was injured before he came to Chelsea too, so like that doesn't really...
No, he was, wasn't he? Yeah. They only beat us with, they did beat us with Caicedo, didn't they? Lavia's going to be back this weekend. I don't know if he's going to go. I don't know if he's going to go straight into the starting lineup. I'd imagine he probably won't. I imagine he'll be on the bench. That would make more sense. In terms of start to the season, look, I think Enzo Maresca deserves a lot of credit for the job that he's done so far. I'm not going to get carried away, and start bigging him up and saying, "Oh, wow, he's absolutely amazing" and whatnot. But from what we've seen so far, he deserves credit. I think he's done a really good job, considering the circus that he's come into, considering his lack of top level experience, the massive step up from Leicester to Chelsea. Yes, he's got a very good squad at his disposal. Yes, you could probably argue the squad is better than what it was under Pochettino. But this is someone that's got very, very little experience. He's come in and very quickly he's put his mark on things. He speaks very well. He's very honest in press conferences. You can see the ideas, clear style of play, clear patterns of play and identity. What have you made of the job that he's done so far? And, I think he deserves an enormous amount of praise for the start to the season that we've had. And I'm happy to hold my hands up. I think it was a very uninspiring appointment in the summer. I don't think he wouldn't have been on anyone's list of managerial replacements at all. But he's come in, and so far, yes, it's 5 games in the league. He's made a really good start.
Yeah, absolutely. I echo your words. And I think I'll pull out something that you said there about identity. I think that that's been something we've been missing for a long time at Chelsea. You know, we've gone into games and we've just wondered really, what is the vision here? What's the intention? What are we really trying to do? But I think now we all know kind of what we are supposed to do. And you can see that there is some sort of identity on the pitch. So again, it's a big step up. And I, like you, wasn't very moved with the appointment because, I mean, what really was there to be moved about? It's no disrespect to Enzo Maresca as a manager, but I just think with the chopping and changing of managers, at some point you do lose that little excitement with a new manager coming in, and you're all, I mean, I at least had the attitude of, well, I mean, you kind of got to give him a chance, right? There's nothing you can do. I'm not going to want a manager out before I've even seen him. But yeah, he's definitely building some trust among the fans, and I think he handles himself very well. I think he's a very honest man as well, particularly the way he conducts himself in press conferences, etc. He doesn't just tell us what we want to hear as well. I think that's really important, and perhaps what previous managers have tried to do since the takeover, where they've really said the things that fans want to hear. But he's very honest, and I think he understands what we need, what we've been missing, and it sounds like he's really gaining the trust of the players as well, which I think is ultimately the most important thing, to be able to come into a side of so many growing players that really don't know where they fit in, what their future looks like, and to be able to say, look, this is what plan I have for you, this is what plan I have for you. And you can see that the way they celebrate together, there's a real togetherness that I think Maresca's managed to bring. And he obviously supports the players, and he is very careful with how he brings and reintroduces players that have been injured into lineups. You know, I really like the fact that Malo Gusto was brought off when he was, because at times I was actually holding my breath. Every time a Barrow player went in for a challenge against Malo Gusto, I was like, no, please do not touch him. Do not be in a radius of like more than a meter next to him. But yeah, so far so good. Again, let's see what the season brings. But the way he started, and I think, did you see that stat that Maresca's the only manager that's won his first 3 away games?
Since Pep in 2016.
Yeah.
And those are difficult away games as well, you know.
Away games, yeah.
Those are grounds that Chelsea have struggled at over the last 2 years. We've had a terrible record at Wolves, terrible record at West Ham. The record at Bournemouth was actually better than I thought it was, but it's still a ground that we have kind of not had an amazing record at. And look, the away form is going to be important. You know, home form was decent last season. Away form kind of let us down. If we can pick up some more wins on the road, that's going to really help us. But I think after the international break is when we're going to find a lot out about this team. We've got away at Liverpool, away at Man United. We've got a game at home against Arsenal coming up. You know, it will be interesting. It's just spot on here. You know, we haven't really, I mean, it's only early days, but we haven't gone through a bad spell yet. There will be a bad spell. And it'll be interesting to see how we react to that. You know, we haven't gone through a spell where, you know, we've not won for sort of 3 or 4 games or whatever. But look, we do love to say that's not going to come. That will come, and that will happen at some point. And it'll be interesting to see sort of how Maresca adjusts to that, how the players react to that. Because it's easy when things are going well. It's easy when you're winning. You know, nothing. You didn't really have to worry about anything. You just keep doing what you're doing. But the real pressure will be when we lose a few games and we go through a difficult run, and we have to see how they're gonna react. You know, because winning becomes a habit, but you know, losing can equally become a habit as well. You lose 1 or 2 games, that can quickly set into that can quickly become a bit of a negative spiral. And you know, you need, you know, it's important to have that strong bounce back ability, that strong reaction within the team. And so obviously let's hope we don't lose for a while or go through a difficult patch, but that is going to be important as well. Because you probably find out more about this team and this squad when you know we're in the shit than you are going to find out about us when we're doing well. Chukwuemeka got 13 minutes last night. We're probably not going to see him again. We might see him again. We might see him next Thursday against Ghent in the Conference League, maybe. What are your thoughts around the whole situation with him? He's clearly got no long-term future at Chelsea. Maresca, despite saying he really likes him, obviously there's something he's not liking about him.
Obviously he doesn't.
He maybe likes him as a person, likes him as a player. I don't know, but something's not adding up because he never picks him. So,
no.
What would you make of the situation around Chukwuemeka? Because I like him. I think he's a talented boy. Ultimately, though, I just think he's a victim of there's just better players ahead of him.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I like to think I have a theory for everything, but I genuinely can't explain it in a different way because, I mean, he was not even picked over Cassidy. And I know they're very different players, and I think that,
But
Carney is.
could have Nkunku played? No, sorry, not Nkunku. Could Chukwuemeka have played? Because Cassidy played as a deepest midfielder yesterday.
Yeah,
Chukwuemeka's
yeah.
not going to do
And
that,
I
is
don't
he?
think that's Carney's best role anyway, though.
No,
So
he's not. He's not
he's
a
not.
defensive-minded midfielder. No.
No, he's not. So I think it's an interesting one. I think it was more a tactical decision more than anything, just because of how Enzo Maresca set us up. But yeah, in regards to his future at Chelsea, it doesn't really look like there is one, to be honest, because there's no way he gets in into a Premier League, lineup at the start. Ain't no way. And considering maybe you could, maybe make a case for him starting against Ghent in the Conference League if we go for a little bit of a different style of play. But yeah, it's hard. I don't think Carney's going to be among the first picks. Maybe a rotational player, maybe someone that comes in for injury down the line. But no, because then you look at other players. Last season we saw someone like Ogachukwu. Yeah, he impressed decent, but Carney never really got to play and show that much, if that makes sense, because obviously he was injured. He wasn't really favoured. I think he had a really good preseason with Pochettino last year, but yeah, it's not been anything more than that. I think I most famously remember him for his goal against West Ham when we lost 3-1
Yeah.
last season, and then he got injured. So I think
Scored
it's a little
last
bit
minute
of
winner against Leicester in the cup.
yeah, actually, of course. I forgot about that one. But yeah, it's a shame. I think Carney could definitely be a first teamer elsewhere, in a different team, even somewhere in the Premier League. I think he could be a
I
first
just don't
teamer.
know why Chelsea don't want to loan him out. I don't understand that.
Yeah, that is true, actually.
Like, he's only 20. Like, surely you would loan him out and reassess after a season, kind of see what he does. Because him staying at Chelsea, he's really not doing any good for him. Because all he's going to do really is play.
His growth.
All he's going to do is play. Is maybe get 10 minutes in the cup competitions.
Yeah.
That's useless. Particularly at that age, you need to be playing. And I'm surprised that Chelsea have been so against him going out on loan. It's frustrating because he's a good player, he's a talented boy, but ultimately, there's just no room for him. He's not been able to keep himself fit either, and it's just a real shame, really. It's just a real shame. Thoughts on KDH? I don't mind Dewsbury Hall. Like, he's been bought. I see a lot of people criticizing him. It's like he's not been bought in to be a game changer for Chelsea. He's come in to be a squad player. Now, whether he's an improvement on Gallagher or whatever is a separate conversation. But he's come in. He's a squad player, and I think he can do. I think he can perform that role relatively well. Last night I thought he was a little bit slow to get into the game, but he grew into it. And yeah, I think he could be a solid, dependable player for us. But he wasn't signed to be. He wasn't signed to be this sort of game changer to go into the starting 11. So, if people had that expectation of him, they're going to be very, very disappointed. He's been signed as a squad player. Yes, you can question decisions of maybe, we should have maybe just kept someone else instead of bringing him in. Fair enough. I can understand that. But, for me, Dewsbury Hall is a dependable player. And, I haven't really got too much more to add on him. I don't agree with this either, because if KDH didn't sign, Carney's still not getting a look in under this manager. He's not. He wouldn't. Chukwuemeka wouldn't have started last night if Dewsbury Hall wasn't there. He wouldn't have done. He would have played someone else. I don't agree at all with the fact that KDH is the reason that Chukwuemeka's not playing. He absolutely isn't. I mean, what are your thoughts on Dewsbury Hall?
Honestly, no disrespect to him. I struggle to really form an opinion on him. Yeah. And I think that, a squad player at best. I mean, I think in some ways I see him as what Conor Gallagher was for us before Pochettino came in, and someone that was a squad player, useful for rotation. But that's really it. I never really understood the signing, and it was never really anything personal to the player, because I'm aware that he had a very good impact for Leicester when he was playing for them previously. But yeah, I just thought to myself, where does he fit? And I guess the answer is in a domestic cup lineup. But yeah, I don't think he gets a look in the Prem. And again, I've not seen enough to really form an opinion on how good or how not good enough is KDH.
Yeah, no, I agree. Look, I don't hate him. I don't, like, I'm not in love with him.
I'm a bit indifferent. Do you know what I mean?
Just like if he does well, he does well. It's fine. You know, it's really not a big deal. What are people saying in the chat? Let's be real. There's no spot for him here in the future. Yeah, no, Chukwuemeka. There's no spot for Chukwuemeka. Fully agreed. Look, Carney's a talented boy, and yeah, you know, he probably has got more ability than Dewsbury Hall right now. But is he a better footballer than Dewsbury Hall right now? No, he probably isn't right now as things stand. We should sell Disasi and Badiashile. I mean, we're not going to sign Mark Gare here, I don't think. I mean, what are your thoughts on the defence, by the way? Because a lot's made of that. We've got so much attacking depth. There's a lot of depth in midfield. Perhaps there's not the same depth at the back. I mean, we didn't really find out anything about Badiashile or Disasi last night. It was a very, very easy night for the pair of them. Where do you stand on sort of where we are defensively? There's 3 clean sheets in a row now. Things seem to be looking better defensively. There's been a lot of chat about, I know Alex is a big fan of Tosin, but like a lot of chat, I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, maybe Tosin should start ahead of Fofana. I'm not quite at that stage yet. Where do you stand on us defensively, and what do you think of the depth we've got at centre back? Because I think we've got 3 good defenders in sort of Tosin, Fofana, and Colwell. Disasi and Badiashile, I'm less convinced about. Badiashile, I don't know what's happened to him, and Disasi, I just think is sort of average, really.
Yeah, I think I'm still probably least kind of comfortable with our back line. And I know we haven't actually been conceding goals in our last 3 games, so I don't think that's necessarily a fair point to make. But, you know, I still do worry when actually somewhere down the line we face, you know, much more kind of demanding or like relentless opposition in like the front line, especially. I think I do worry about how they come up against, you know, some of the Prem's best forwards. But I think it's a case of still growing because they're still very young, aren't they? We don't have experienced centre backs, or you could argue full backs maybe a little bit more, but one of them is nowhere near close to being fit soon to start. Obviously, Reece James, and then Malagusti. You look at someone that's a little bit more familiar. I'd argue he's probably our most experienced defender. Is that fair to say? Alongside maybe Colwell, who's previously played in the Prem, and then Cucurella, who's got obviously club and international level up his belt. So that's good for him. But I think it's our centre backs I worry most about, because I couldn't really tell you which duo is the strongest. I think I see weaknesses in both. You know, when Fofana,
I think it's obvious right now what the strongest partnership is.
Fofana and Colwell.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Tosin actually could equally be maybe good enough somewhere among those two. Maybe you rotate, maybe you keep Fofana, but do you keep Fofana? Because I'd argue I probably would rather keep Colwell and then maybe rotate that kind of right centre back. But then you could play Tosin there, you could play Wesley Fofana there. But for me, Fofana's still got a lot of proving to do. I don't see him as that reliable still. I think that maybe when you look at some of the games, I think he is sometimes very positionally unaware, and he leaves a lot of kind of ground exposed. I think you could even see who started against Wolves, by the way, in our back line.
Colwell, Fofana, Gusto, and Cucurella.
So that's the game I think I saw a little bit of weakness in Fofana. Not that he was at fault or anything, but yeah, like Cunha scored and he was still left unmarked, and that goes for our whole back line. But it was a problem that we had, and I'd say that out of all the Premier League teams we faced, bar Man City, you know, Wolves probably caused us most problems in that first half when they were constantly on us, and they've got quality up front even without Neto in that side anyway. But yeah, it's a tough one, but I think it will improve. I think it does help that we're able to score a lot more goals. What's the saying, that offense can be your best defense? Is that the saying? Or attack can be your best.
Attack's the best form of defense. So
that's the one.
But to be fair, you know, it is true that goals win matches, but defenses win titles. And I think you've got, like, it doesn't matter how many goals you score. If you're leaking goals at the back, it's going to be a problem. Look, we've tightened up over the last 3 games. But I know I said it at the time after the Bournemouth game. Chelsea have got to learn to win ugly and grind results out.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to score 2, 3, 4 goals every game. You know, and if you're conceding every week, you're not going to win that. You're going to struggle to win a lot of matches if you're conceding every week. That's just the reality. So we have tightened up defensively. I mean, what are your thoughts on Tosin, by the way? Because like, he come in as a bit of an uninspiring signing, I'll be real. Coming on a free transfer, you think, just a squad filler. I've been impressed with what he's done. You know, he made a difference against Bournemouth. He was very calm and composed against West Ham. I don't think he's done enough to force his way in yet, but the fact that he didn't play at all last night goes to show that he's definitely more in the first team planning than maybe we would have expected at the start of the season.
Yeah, and I think that's fair because his CV warrants that. Do you know what I mean? You know, he's had what 3, 4 years in the Premier League, yeah, playing at Fulham, but he's someone that's quite familiar with the game, and I think he looks really comfortable. Again, I don't know how much he's been tested. There have been games certainly where our defense has been a bit of a concern, but I think Tosin could be a Premier League starter for us. Why not? And I think he offers a lot of height, and I think we haven't always had that. Do you know what I mean? Like I think we've become better at scoring goals from set pieces, but equally, I look at Tosin and I think he's someone that both defensively and offensively, when it comes to set pieces, could be really, really crucial for us.
No, I agree. I agree. Very impressive. Yeah, Colwell's been brilliant. I mean, what have you made of Colwell? But just like, I know you've got to go and you've got to shoot in a sec. Last thing, Colwell. I think he's done really well this season.
Yeah.
Playing out a left back last season, not ideal for a lot of it. One thing that's really impressed me about him is A, his leadership. B, his passing is seriously underrated. I didn't realize his passing was that good.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed by him developing into a leader, good defender, good range of passing. Yeah, I mean, there's a future Chelsea captain there in my view. I mean, just briefly, what have you made of him?
Yeah. Hi, Michael. Though, hope you're well. Yeah. What have I made of Colwell? I think he's improved. I think it was unfair last season that Pochettino played him as a left back so much. That definitely inhibited his game a lot. And I think that considering the fact that he's actually still quite young, I think he's out quite well. Being played out of position and still learning to adapt and grow as a centre back. And I think now that he is in his natural position, you can see he's so much more comfortable. And again, there is that element to Colwell where you can see how keen and the desire he has to prove himself. I think he is quite comfortable in this Chelsea side as well. But yeah, I'd agree. He's someone that has come a long way. But then again, we do know the player that we so desperately wanted to keep from Brighton, right? Because of the season he had there. So again, it's no surprise to anyone. So hopefully he just gets better and continues what he's doing. But yeah, I think he is slowly proving that he definitely deserves that kind of definite solid spot in that back line.
No, absolutely.
But
Thank you so much. I know you need to go.
No problem.
Appreciate it. Let the people know all that stuff, where you are and whatnot.
Yes. So Nina's Chelsea Corner, you've linked it in the description, haven't you? So check it out, guys. If
I'm
you're
nice
not
like
subscribed.
that.
I've just passed 6K as well. So if you can subscribe and help the road to 7K starts today, that would be great. Thank you. I will be also doing my own live stream. If you're not bored of listening after Charlie rounds out, then you're welcome to come along and join me for that. But yeah, Charlie, thanks for having me, mate.
No, pleasure.
I'll see you on Saturday.
Yeah, see you Saturday. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it a lot.
See you later.
Guys, I'm gonna go for like 5 more minutes. Let's run a little Q&A, people. Ask me stuff in the chat. What are we saying, guys? What are we saying? He's 2021, right? Amadeus, what a baller. Yeah, I think Colwell's 21. If you're referring to Colwell, yep, Colwell is 21. But yeah, guys, any questions in the chat? I'm gonna run this for 5 more minutes. Ask me stuff about Chelsea, whatever. A good team will expose Chelsea. They're very vulnerable to the counter-attack. Throwing so many players forwards. If Captain Enzo has a slight off day, but you got Lavia as well. So I don't think I don't worry about us as much getting overrun, just because we've got Lavia in there as well now. Gurhi and Lekeba signings will change the game. Yeah, but bro, we're not going to sign both of them. That's the thing. We're not going to sign them. Road to 100k. Colwell. Oh yeah. No, bro, I still don't think it changes much. Carney wouldn't be getting Dewsbury Hall's minutes, in my view. He just wouldn't. I thought Casadei was all right. I personally don't see him as having a long-term future at Chelsea at all. I thought he did well last night, as well as he could have done against that level of opposition. So yeah, I don't really have an issue with him. I don't have an issue with him. Do you think we could challenge? We should be finishing top 4. The top 4 is 100% there for the taking. By the way, guys, keep smashing that like button. It's free. It takes seconds to do so. Run it up. We're at 104 now. Let's get this to 110. Keep smashing that subscribe button as well, guys. It's free. It takes seconds to do. And we're 180 subscribers away from 12k. Come on, people. Let's run it up. Smash the like, subscribe. All of that good stuff, people. Thoughts on Sanchez? I'm not a massive fan, but credit where credit's due. He started the season really well, and he deserves praise for that. Simple as that. If we get a striker in the summer, what do you think we will do with Nkunku? Discussed this earlier. I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah. Barrow Shield played out. Yeah, Barrow Shield was decent yesterday. He won't have many easier nights in his career, but yeah, he did a good job. I think we should get carried away. Barley and Bowley are even back to being mates. Everything has settled nicely. No, look, we got to enjoy the good moments. If you can't enjoy your team when you're winning, then when can you enjoy them? So yeah, of course, brother, we got to enjoy the good moments. No doubt about it. You have to enjoy. You have to enjoy the good moments. How much are you going to Reece James from Real Madrid? Chelsea won't give up on Reece James, but the big thing will be is when he gets back fit again, how long does he stay fit for? If he breaks down again, then there's a genuine conversation to be had. Where do you see the likes of Esteban players coming in? Well, I think Esteban is going to play maybe as a number 10, maybe as a winger. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do. There's going to be, there's going to be some juggling to do because players need to leave to make room for those guys. That's the simple reality. What do you think we should do in January? To be honest, nothing, in my opinion. I don't think we need to do anything. If you can maybe get a quality centre back in, you might look at doing that. But for me, unless there's any outrageous opportunities that you can't say no to, or we pick up sort of a long-term injury that requires us to dip into the market, then we shouldn't be doing anything in January at all. I hope we win the next 2 games and be 15. Yeah, I hope we do as well, bro. I always hope that we win. Always hope that we win. That's what everyone wants, isn't it? Everyone wants us to win. So I hope we win the next 2. You're not going to win every week, but I feel like we're building something. I feel like we're building something solid. I feel like something solid is building. So why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we enjoy ourselves? Why shouldn't we enjoy ourselves? Yeah, look, everyone knows that I'm a big Mykhailo Mudryk fan, but at the end of the day, it needs to start clicking, and it's not quite there yet. So, yeah, he's got the tools, he's got the credentials, he's got everything there to do well. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky. It's going to be tricky, but yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's see. But this is make or break season for Mudryk. If he doesn't perform well this season, then he is probably going to be on his bike. Cuckoo's been doing well. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy as well. I don't see Chelsea doing anything in January. Yep. I don't think Neto on the left works. Neto can play left wing, but yeah, I think maybe he's better on the right. I don't really know. Can you put a link in the chat for the young lady that you were chatting with so that we can? Yeah. I'm gonna jump over there in a sec. Let me link you lot in the chat. Let me do my thing and link you lot in the chat. So yeah, guys, show some love to Nina. Subscribe. That is the link to the channel there. I'm gonna jump on there shortly as well when I am finished here. That is the link there, guys, in the chat if you want to use it. If that link doesn't work, then it's just at Nina's Chelsea Corner. It's tagged in the title. Thoughts on Barrow Shield generally? Don't know what's happened to him. A player that does have a lot of ability, but it seems to have disappeared, and I don't know what's happened to him. But I think there's a talented boy there. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was sold next summer. I'll be totally honest. I wouldn't be surprised if man like Barrow Shield was sold next summer. Hazard for me. Salah's output is next level, miles clear of Hazard in terms of output. In terms of pure footballer ability, talent, who I'd rather watch, it's Hazard for me in every other aspect of the game other than output. Hazard's a joy to watch. I'm not saying that Salah's not, but Eden Hazard is a special footballer, a special footballer. Simple as. We can definitely finish top 4 this season. Yeah, bro, I agree. We can definitely finish top 4. No doubt about it. Oh, bro, I'd rather have Gyökeres. I'd rather have Gyökeres. Gyökeres for me is the guy that I would like to have. Biggest unsung hero. I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know. Maybe Marcus Bettinelli. Third choice goalkeeper. Maybe he's the biggest unsung hero. No. But yeah, guys, I am going to round this one out now. Big up to everyone that's tuned in. Appreciate all the love, all the support. Please smash the like button on the way out, guys. Let's get this to 120 likes if we can. Yeah, whatever. Not fussed about shirts. Once we get one, great. If we don't, we carry on. No big deal to me. But yeah, I think it would look good. Guys, I'm going to round this one out here. Big up to everyone that has supported the channel, supported the stream this afternoon. Love for all of you tuning in, guys. I'll be back tomorrow with more content, so make sure you stay tuned in for that one. Smash the likes, people. Subscribe. I'm heading over to Nina's channel now for about half an hour. So, yeah, head over there. Show us some love. Come and join us for a chat about all things Chelsea. And yeah, guys, subscribe, smash those likes. Love for the support as always. Catch you lot tomorrow. Up the Chelsea and peace out.